finally, live streams have returned. Hey, Go Wan's Butterfly, thanks for becoming a member today. I appreciate it. If you, I haven't had a stream in a little bit, so just to remind you of the rules, if you subscribe, if you become a member during a stream, you'll get a shout out. Specifically, anytime during the stream, I always take a moment to say thank you for becoming a member. Now, of course, anyone can watch the stream. It's for all, open for all, but only members may comment. We have streams tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then on Friday evening, we're going to watch Mulan together, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm very sorry that there were no streams last week. What happened is that after DC Fandom, I was like, I don't need a break. I needed a break. DC Fandom was on Saturday, and then I needed Sunday to do the shot-by-shots, and then on Monday, I went right into doing movie math. So I didn't get the day off to kind of reset, and it was just really difficult to recover. So I apologize about that. But I'm glad to be back with streaming now. Also, yesterday, I really was just focusing on Chadwick Boseman yesterday. I didn't want to come in and be like, oh, let's do a stream. You know, I was trying to make it a day about Chadwick Boseman's memory. And by the way, you guys are superheroes. Talk about real life superheroes. You stepped up. We're now at $14,000 earned for St. Jude. You know, when I started it, I was like, well, if it gets to like 1,000, they could buy like a lot of snacks or coloring books or books for the kids. That'll be great. But now that it's like at $14,000, that's like the kind of check you actually hand to somebody. I couldn't believe it. You guys are amazing that you gave that much money. I gave as well. I didn't just ask you guys to give. I contributed, and I thought that was just wonderful. I'm just going to leave the donation going. I looked into it. YouTube pays it out monthly. So, it'll just keep collecting money for them. But St. Jude will get that money, $14,000 now at the end of the month. That's just so awesome. So anyone who contributed, you guys are amazing. And if you didn't get to contribute, if you feel like it, any amount of money is fine. Because it's everybody coming together. So if enough people gave like $5, that's how you make that much. That's how you get that much. So you can just head over to the 2 Chadwick Boseman videos, click on donate, and you just put your credit card information in, and it gives the money. I'm sorry it's not available outside the United States, Lotta. It's tough. That's right, Youngie. Even 50 cents, just whatever you want to give, is just so nice. So you guys are the best. You guys are just absolutely the best. It's so great to see you again. I've missed you. We have 3 great stories to go over today. And then, of course, as always, at the end of the stream, you can ask me anything that you would like. Oh, Youngie donated from the UK, so it's just not available in some countries. Diego, I'm not going to do the Suicide Squad breakdown anymore. It's just been too long. I feel like the breakdown I filmed wasn't as in-depth as I would have liked it to have been anyway. So when they do another Suicide Squad trailer, I shall do that in depth, and we'll be able to really go over it. But yeah, a lot of things that people pointed out are true. Like I'm hearing Starro. I think just to give you my basic quick thoughts, I think the costumes are a little ridiculous, to be honest with you. But let's see how people react to it. I mean, like, I can't believe they put that helmet on John Cena. And I love John Cena. Portis 2, I can't review Tenet and New Mutants because there's no way for me to get to a movie theater. Hey, Club Star Wars, that's a great name. It's really difficult for me to get to a theater. I'm a New Yorker, so I don't own a car. So I could drive to Connecticut, which is just an hour away, or this weekend New Jersey theater's open, but I don't have a car. And so I'm worried about a rental car. I'm worried about being able to see other people because I would then have to go into quarantine for 2 weeks. I feel like, as I tweeted yesterday, when Governor Cuomo says I can go to a movie theater, then I'll feel better. There's some nice small movie theaters here in the city where I feel there are less people that I'll be exposed to. I just think that's what I want to do. And so I feel I'll review New Mutants and Tenet at some point when they become available. I just filmed my Mulan review before we started. That's why we're a little late today. And I'm going to do my thinking of ending things. Hopefully I'm going to do that review today as well if the sun stops being so intense. All right, so I like to always do shout outs at the beginning of the stream. Where's everybody watching from? Pastor Madeline needs a nap in Ohio. That's funny. Let's see here. Thank you, Emmanuel. Carlos is in Bogota, Colombia. I love it. Let's see here. CJ is outside walking Marvel in New York City. For a minute, I was like, what's this walking Marvel project? Then I remembered your dog's name, Marvel. Aaliyah. Hey, Aaliyah is in Tucson, Arizona. Jake Chandler is on the road for a wedding in Utah. Happy to keep you company. Chris Sanchez is in Palm Desert with a glass of wine. That's pretty sophisticated of you. Let's see here. Fellow Grace Marie just ate some ramen and is quite enjoyed it. Hey, Jay Garcia in Mexico City. B. Garcia says it's a cool day in Chicago, 70 degrees and dropping. Yeah, I'm ready for this heat to be over. Zeester's in Kuwait and missed everybody. Me too. Good to have you back. Amy Gibbs is getting ready to teach Zumba in New Hampshire. That's fantastic. I'm glad the gyms are reopening, keeping people healthy, keeping people moving. Waffles is trying to convince his dad to drive me to New Jersey to see Tenet. Be careful, Waffles. Don't risk your dad's health. I think the movies they have mixed reviews as it is. Let's see here. Frank is in Munich, Germany. Jico is deep frying a meatball for dinner. Oh, I like that. I'm having some turkey meatloaf for dinner. It's pre-made. I'm excited to try it. I also have some mashed potatoes. Utaka has chicken McNuggets in St. Louis. I wish I had chicken McNuggets. I love chicken McNuggets. McDonald's has, I'm a McDonald's person. Everyone has their favorite fast food. What's everyone's favorite fast food? Mine's McDonald's. I enjoy all fast food. I say McDonald's is my favorite, followed by Taco Bell. I've never had Arby's, though. I've never had White Castle. I've never had In-N-Out. Wendy's is pretty good. Hey, that's Scatterbrain. I'm seeing some Burger King and Wendy's love. Chick-fil-A. I'm not a huge Chick-fil-A fan, but I know some people just absolutely adore it. Oh, Popeyes. Elizabeth, I haven't had enough Popeyes to judge it. But it always looks delicious, I must say. I was tempted to go and get a Popeye sandwich, but they don't have a lot of Popeyes here in New York. CJ Parker says, I'm gay and ashamed to say it's Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I think they changed their stance a little bit, right? Let's see here. Yoshinoya, Alexander, that's your favorite fast food? Let's see here. Jack in the Box. Whataburger. I've heard Whataburger is very good, Daniel. Yeah, I made everybody hungry. You're welcome. Oh, Anthony is watching from home during his first week of film school. Oh, congratulations. Let's see here. Jim's Burger Heaven, Casey. I've never heard of that. Yeah, I've heard Whataburger is very, very good. Do a couple more. Let's see. Shake Shack. Oh, I do love Shake Shack, Eric. Their milkshakes are delicious. I was a little upset that they applied for a loan. Hey, Sung Ki Park. Thanks for joining. I was upset that Shake Shack asked for a small business loan when they're a multi-million dollar corporation, but I forgave them because I love their food so much. Yes, soon we shall be able to go back to fast food. I'm looking forward to it. It's so delicious. All right, so let's get to today's 3 stories. Rose says, I'm in Los Angeles in her office eating a Jersey Mike's sub. Rose, I love it. You tied in everything, what you're doing, where you are, and a fast food place. Every time I'm at the LAX airport, the Delta terminal has a Jersey Mike's sub. And should I get one, Rose? Should I get one? Maybe I will, since you seem to recommend it. If you're ever at the Delta terminal in Los Angeles, they have a pizza place. And actually, someone who watches Beyond the Trailer was working there when I got my pizza, and they were very nice. He said hello, and he was so sweet. But they have, I don't usually get deep dish pizza, but they have little mini deep dish pepperoni pizzas there, and every time I go, I get it, and I eat it on the plane, and it's so good. I have to wait to eat it because it takes forever for the plane to take off, so it's not that warm, but it's still delicious. I'm like, deep dish cold pepperoni pizza with the giant, well, I don't drink soda anymore, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Hey, Tito Machado, but if you're at the Delta terminal, I'm telling you, go get that pepperoni deep dish pizza. It's amazing. It's right next to the Jersey Mike's sub thing. It's in the fast food court. It's very good. It's very good. All right, so let's get to today's 3 stories. And then, of course, as always, at the end of the stream, you may ask me anything that you would like. All right, so no personal questions, though. I saw somebody ask a personal question. I don't like to talk about people in my life are very private. They didn't sign up to, be talking to people, and so I'm trying to be really respectful of that. That's right. Thanks for reminding me about the boops, everybody. I haven't done this in so long, I wasn't going to boop. All right, hold on. do. Boop! Story number 1. It couldn't have happened to a better person. Jack Quaid just joined the cast of Scream 5. I'm very happy for him. Now, they've been working so hard to assemble all the people from the original films, and I'm very happy about that. Courtney Cox, David Arquette. David Arquette was so sweet. He liked my tweet when we talked about that. I believe he's following me, and I'm following him back on Twitter. He's very active on Twitter. So I thought that was great, but I'm excited to get some new blood in there, right? New blood, and I think Jack Quaid is very talented. He's, of course, Huey on The Boys, but also, I was surprised at this, he does one of the voices on Lower Decks, the new Star Trek animated series. And the first Lower Decks episode is actually available on YouTube for free. And I thought it wasn't bad. It wasn't good enough to get me to subscribe to CBS All Access, but if they continued to air it for free on YouTube or some other service that I already subscribed to, I would watch it. And he did a very nice job with the voice work. He's very talented. The role that he's playing on screen in Scream is a secret, but I think that he's a great choice. I think he really matches the rest of the cast and the vibe of the Scream series. He, of course, if you don't know this, is the son of Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid. And every once in a while, when he smiles, you get really shocked how much he looks like Dennis Quaid. You're like, oh my God, he inherited Dennis Quaid's exact triangle smile. But he has like Meg Ryan's nose. So he's quite the combo of the two of them. Usually, sometimes someone's kid will look just like one of them, but he very much is a mix of them. So I'm very happy for him. I interviewed him when I did the Boys junket, online junket because of coronavirus, like a week or so ago. And he was really nice. Everyone was nice, but he was really, really nice. Everyone on the show was a sweetheart, but he was one of the nicer people. He was really, really nice. So I think he's an up-and-coming talent, and I am surprised that he is the first person to land something big off of The Boys. I would have thought it would be Anthony Starr. So don't underestimate Huey, just like you shouldn't underestimate him on The Boys. Huey's a player. That's right, The Boys starts on Friday. Who's going to watch The Boys? I've seen the first 3 episodes. They're quite good. I do think, as I said in my review, that it starts a little bit slow, the first 3 episodes, but they're still very enjoyable. And also, Raised by Wolves starts on Thursday, and I think you should watch it. Oh, look at everybody watching The Boys. I'm so happy. Jalen says he might wait to binge it. I don't know how you're going to avoid spoilers, though, which is what I would be worried about. I think you're just going to have to watch it weekly, which is going to suck. I'm pretty upset about it. Platinum Diva, you don't have Amazon Prime? You get free 2-day shipping. I like Amazon Prime is like I think that's one of my favorite things that I'm a member of because you get so much for your membership. So I think it's great. I'm very happy for him. He's a great actor, nice guy. It's fantastic. That's right, Go Wan's Butterfly, new member. It's weekly. They're dropping the first 3 episodes on Friday, but then you got to wait week to week to watch every new episode, which I think really sucks. I'm very upset about it. As I said, I made like a third of my review about how upset I am about it. I felt bad, but I'm pretty upset about it. All right, so anyway, that's the first story of the day. All right, story number 2. Boop. So, Benioff and Weiss are back. They're like, haha, we've come to ruin or maybe make great and then ruin another favorite book series of yours. Although, I don't know how many people, does anybody here read The 3-Body Problem? It's a trilogy of books by Zixin and Ken Liu. Has anyone here ever heard of this? So see, they don't have to worry about messing up the mythology. Oh, George read them. George, were they good? Oh, someone else read it too and had a comment about it. George, another George, says, people who are named George have apparently really loved this series. Says the first 2 books are great, but you'll need actual talent to elevate the ending, not their strong suit. That's hilarious. Other George Alexander says they're good, but that's why he's worried. Yeah, Grace, a fellow Grace, they just seem to only adapt other people's books, which there's nothing wrong with that. Good for them. Yeah, they are failing upwards, Mika. So remember how Benioff and Weiss were like, we don't want to do our Star Wars trilogy because we made a big commitment to Netflix for hundreds of millions of dollars, and the Star Wars community is pretty toxic, and we already had a bad situation with Game of Thrones, so we're going to head over to Netflix. So they announced today what their series is going to be. And it's this trilogy of books called The 3-Body Problem. And as some of you have already mentioned in the comments I just saw, it has some pretty impressive executive producers. Ryan Johnson, Rosamund Pike, how did that happen? I didn't know she was producing stuff. And then Brad Pitt, who's actually a pretty prolific producer. Now, I wonder if Rosamund Pike and Brad Pitt are going to show up in this thing. Maybe not Brad Pitt, but I bet Rosamund Pike shows up in it because she needs to work. And Ryan Johnson, I wouldn't be surprised if he directs at least one of the episodes if he's going to be an executive producer on it. Rosamund Pike, I guess, will be pulling Amy Adams because this is about humans' first contact with aliens, and it spans many years, stretching from the 1960s to the end of time. And I hope that it's something that we can understand. It sounds a little Westworldy, a little Wachowskis to me. Not the good Wachowskis. The Wachowskis when they get too inside their own head. And you're like Cloud Atlas. And I know a lot of people like Sense8, but Sense8 ended up not having a very large audience, as we know. So I'm a little nervous about how accessible this is going to be. If it gets too cerebral, I think you're going to have a problem with mainstream viewers. So let's see how it looks. Let's see how the cast rounds out. But I'm interested in it. And if it gets people to subscribe, that's all Netflix cares about. So Jay Garcia's like, I like Cloud Atlas. Yeah, some people like Cloud Atlas. Not a lot, though. And, you need a lot of people to like stuff for it to do well. Hey, Brett, I'm glad you made it. All right, so, look. Who's not going to watch this? Benioff and Weiss, for all the horrible stuff they did with Game of Thrones at the end, they still delivered 7 excellent seasons. So we know we're all going to watch it. We're certainly all going to watch the first episode, and we're certainly going to be all I'll be covering the trailers and stuff. Benioff and Weiss are a big talented duo. And I have to say, Benioff is married. David Benioff is married to Amanda Peet, and he always goes around talking about how he's married to Amanda Peet. It's kind of weird, and so it made me not like Amanda Peet because I was like, is she telling you to say that you're married to her so that she tries to get more work? But then I saw Amanda Peet on the Betty Broderick story on USA, and she was phenomenal. And I was like, you should talk about how you're married to Amanda Peet. She's super talented. And in fact, if Amanda Peet showed up on this show, I'd be thrilled at this point. Like at first, before I saw Betty Broderick, I'd be like, don't you put your wife on this show. Come on, that's nepotism. Well, I don't know if it's nepotism because it's not related, but I'd be like, that's totally uncool. But now that I've seen Betty Broderick, I'd be like, any show would be lucky to have Amanda Peet, quite frankly. All right, so Roy, I think it's fine that he loves his wife, but the fact that he says Amanda Peet is weird. Like if he just said, I'd like to thank Amanda or my wife, you'd be like, that's wonderful. But the fact that he says Amanda Peet, her full name, all the time is what I think is weird. I agree, Ironic Faith. It should have Asian talent in it. I think that would be important. Let's see. Although even Westworld, with Lisa Joy working on it, that really doesn't have any. It had like that whole samurai storyline, but, not the kind of representation that you would expect. All right, so that's the second story of the day. The third story of the day, boop, is Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be doing television, it seems. He's going to be doing some kind of streaming show. Now, this hasn't been sold to a streaming service yet, but it's going on the auction block. So that's why it became a news story, because they're getting the word out there so streaming services can compete with it. And I have to say, it was an aggressive boop waffles. That's funny. I'm on a roll. I'm having a good time. So anyway, having heard what this show is about, which I'm going to describe to you in a moment, even though I have serious problems with how Arnold Schwarzenegger handled himself in his personal life, this sounds so good, maybe I'd be okay with it. So let me walk you through it, and let me walk you through some of the Arnold Schwarzenegger drama. So what's this show? Well, maybe we should start with the drama. Let me start with the drama. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course, whatever happened to Arnold Schwarzenegger? I'll tell you what happened to him. He had an affair with his housekeeper behind his wife and his family's back when they were out doing stuff. He'd be home and he would have an affair with his housekeeper. He did it for a really long time. So his family would be like, hey, they were all in the same house. So that's, to me, I felt really not cool, to have the secret with somebody in the house and they're all living together and not have people know about it. I thought that was particularly shady. I thought it made it even worse. And yes, he had a child with this housekeeper who, I think one of the reasons it came out is this kid looks almost exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And so he also was the governor, as you know, but I think at that point he was still kind of popular. So anyway, when this came out, a lot of people were like, that's really inappropriate to do that. So he really really hurt his image. It was like a Mel Gibson situation. But I have to say, as time has gone by, he got divorced from Maria Shriver. Did they get divorced? Yeah, I think they got divorced. But, I think that he stepped up. He really takes care of his son that he had with his housekeeper, who's, so they did get divorced. He's become very close with his son. He Instagrams pictures of them all the time together. His son, I think his name is Joseph, right, has become actually pretty big in bodybuilding, and he looks, again, just like him. More so than his son with Maria Shriver, in fact. And also Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter, of course, is married to Chris Pratt. So Chris Pratt's in this whole family. So it's nuts. The whole thing's crazy. But anyway, I think that Arnold Schwarzenegger's done a nice job during the pandemic with his cute video saying to stay home and wear a mask. And he has like a cute little donkey and all this stuff in the video. It's like very nice. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to forget what you did, Arnold. But I think, like, I don't know. How do you guys feel about Arnold Schwarzenegger? Do you guys maybe feel like you're okay with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yeah, the Geeky Gator's like, I like his video with his pets. I think they're adorable. And he's got his white beard with his dyed hair. I'm like, he's okay. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm going to... yeah, Grace, I agree. Fellow Grace, he is sleazy. Oh, it's interesting. Some of you... I think everyone's like... I think Dancing Dog's like, he's a creep, but he's funny. Yeah, I think he's never going to have the idealized version that we once felt about him, but I don't know if he needs to be like in the doghouse so much. Well, James, Katherine Schwarzenegger is a whole different conversation. I feel like Chris Pratt got like bamboozled into this family, and I don't like that Chris Pratt has like his wife in his social media picture. I'm like, whose account is this? Danielle says, he didn't cheat on me. That's funny, Danielle. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation. But, so let me tell you the show. So here's it's certainly not as bad as Mel Gibson, who's like a horrible anti-Semitic, homophobic, racist person. Like, that's really bad. Obviously, that's unforgivable with Mel Gibson. I don't ever want to see Mel Gibson on camera again. He is a good filmmaker, though. This is tough. Tough situation. It's tough to judge these things. So anyway, the show is going to be by Skydance. Now, Skydance is the company that's owned by David Ellison, one of Larry Ellison's kids. Remember, David Ellison went the mainstream blockbuster route, and his daughter, Meg Ellison, did Annapurna Pictures and then kind of ran it into the ground. So Skydance produces the Terminator movies, including the recent Terminator Dark Fate. So they have a relationship with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So they were like, we've killed Terminator. So do you want to maybe do this television show? And what it's going to be is I'm glad you're enjoying today's stream, James. So it's going to be a father-daughter global spy adventure show, which to me sounds like True Lies. And I'm like, I would be interested in this. I think that sounds very, very good. Now, it's from Nick Santora, who did Scorpion on CBS. I'm like, network television, yikes. But maybe he's okay. He's also developing the Jack Reacher show for Amazon. Hey, Richard Reports, good to have you back. So I think this sounds like, Yeager's film. I wish it was a True Lies television show and Jamie Lee Curtis could come back. She's doing the Halloween series, though. I wouldn't know if she'd want to do this. It's not a True Lies. It's not involved with True Lies. It just sounds like True Lies to me. So I think this sounds pretty good. So I would be interested in this show, particularly, I don't know. I think Skydance has a very spotty track record in terms of quality, but I would be interested in this. If I were a streaming service, I would definitely be like, let me see a script. And if it's not too expensive, I think I might be into this. So who here would watch this show? So Hale says no. Well, a couple of you would not watch it, but some of you would. That's interesting. So not a resounding yes. So I would hope it would be cheap, or if I were a streaming service that just desperately needed a show, maybe I'd be into it. Like the Paramount Network. I'd be like, okay, let's try it. Or if I was like, I don't know, Peacock. I'd be like, how much for Arnold? I agree, Elizabeth. The rest of the cast would be very important. Whoever's cast as his daughter would be crucial. And I hope they don't go for some babe. I hope they get someone who would be likable to women. That would be really important. Emmanuel, I like your yeah, why not? That's pretty funny. I like that. Why not? And I agree, Roy, that the action would be crucial. They'd have to do it really well. No Quibi. Don't Quibi at Evil Chris. That is evil of you because I want to be able to watch it and I don't want to pay for Quibi. All right, so those are the 3 stories of the day. Let me just get rid of this last one. All right, so it is 5:29. We'll just call it at 5:30. You can ask me anything you'd like until 5:40, and then I must go. He's very funny in Jingle All the Way. Who said that? I like Jingle All the Way. You know, every year, hey, Dancing Dog 60, yeah, every year my family wants to watch Jingle All the Way, and I'm like, please don't make me watch Jingle All the Way. And then I do watch it, and I'm like, you know, this is a pretty good show. This is a pretty good movie. Zakaria, I can't tell you the Mandalorian tea. I told you that I don't know how widespread it's known. I mean, it can't be. If enough people knew, it would have leaked. Because it's like, when the person told me, I was like, I can't believe I can't tell people that. But it would get this person fired. So I'm not going to get someone to lose their job for a scoop. I mean, it's ridiculous. Brian says, Nolan fan here. Do you trust the reviews? I do. I'm not saying it's, I agree. What I'm getting from the Tenet reviews is that it's a visual spectacle and a real treat from that perspective, but that it's very maddeningly incomprehensible. I totally believe that's the case because I thought that Inception was kind of like in that ballpark. Does that mean that it's unwatchable? I don't think so. Does that mean you could probably wait to stream it? Yeah, I think it's true. Truman says the reviews are true, and True Man wouldn't lie because he's a true man. Brett also says it was very confusing. Hugo, you just got to wait for my review. I'm not giving you any Mulan spoilers. Oh, yes, Audie, I am watching Ted Lasso. And I think it's funny. Jason Sudeikis is very active on Twitter about Ted Lasso. So if you tweet about Ted Lasso and you use the right hashtag or the @ he will probably like your tweet. So you should tweet him about it. I bet there's a good chance you might get a response. Be like, I love Ted Lasso. And I'm sure he'll either like your tweet or maybe say something. And she should. It's an amazing show. I just watched the other episode when it debuted on Friday, and I was like, this is such a good show. I'm super upset that it's also a weekly show because I would have finished I would have finished Ted Lasso in 2 days, and now I have to wait. I almost forgot there was a new episode because I have to wait so long for a new one to come out, and they're only half an hour. But I highly recommend that you watch it. Ted Lasso is phenomenal. And as we talked about on a recent stream, already renewed for season 2. It made me want to go to where they film it. In England. It's a real place, and it's gorgeous. And I would like to go there now. When coronavirus is no more, I will go there. It's like this idealistic, picture-perfect UK little area. I think it's like half an hour drive from London, so you could totally go there. Tommy says, are you excited for the Game of Thrones spin-off House of the Dragon? I sure am. Dragons everywhere. I love the dragons. I think that's really going to make everybody forget about what happened so far with Game of Thrones. They're like, it's going to be a ton of dragons. And I'll be like, excellent. Hugo says, thoughts on the Gucci cast? That Lady Gaga, she lives a great life. I think it's going to be fantastic. Emilio says, Grace, thoughts on Lakeith Stanfield as Joker? I mean, obviously that's just your idea. I would be interested. They've had so many Jokers at this point. I'm game to do different stuff with them. And I think Lakeith Stanfield's very talented. And watches Beyond the Trailer, by the way. I met him at the after party for Death Note, and he was like, oh, I watched your show. And he was so sweet. Let's see here. CJ said, what did CJ ask? He asked it a couple times. Any more comments about Josh Boone, the director of New Mutants' idiotic quotes? I don't think there's too much to say about that besides I think he totally ruined his career. So his career is over. I don't know why he would say that. And he was really asking for it when he misspelled the name of the co-creator of New Mutants. That's just, to me, just so incredible. It shows, and if you haven't seen it, go look up that Vulture article about behind the scenes. He just is a real prima donna. Ashton, I was going to review the Avengers game cutscenes, but then I saw that it was 4 hours long, and I don't think I have time to watch a 4-hour Avengers animated movie, especially considering the fact that I don't think that many people are interested in it. Who's going to play the Avengers game? I have so much Mulan coverage to do. There's like so much stuff going on this weekend. I'm doing a bunch of Mulan coverage. I got to do a spoiler review. The late embargo lift on Mulan is killing me. So I want to rank the live action adaptations so far. I want to talk about the upcoming live action adaptations. I want to do all this Mulan stuff. And then also it's a holiday weekend and I got to do stuff for the holiday. So I'm kind of annoyed. Maybe I'll watch it and do the review after. I don't know. It's very hard to, 4 hours. 4 hours. Why can't it just be 3? It's too long. I'm glad some of you are getting to play it, though. Nicholas Crawford says, please. Okay, I'll try. I feel guilty. Every time I say I'm going to do a video and then I don't, I feel horrible about it. Just like so bad. I feel bad. I don't like to let you guys down. So it puts me in a difficult spot. I'll see what I can do. Maybe on Sunday night I'll watch it, and maybe I'll review it like on, I don't know when, like maybe Tuesday? I don't know. It's so long, though. It's so long. Maybe I'll watch half on Sunday and half on Monday and then review it on Tuesday. Maybe I'll do that. That sounds doable. Oh, it's freaking hot. Stupid sun. Let's see here. Jonathan, that's very sweet of you. We have 5 minutes left. When will theaters open in New York City? Who asked that? Portis 2. I think they'll open in time for Wonder Woman, to be honest with you. Governor Cuomo said he wants to see how schools work out, and actually maybe not. Schools open September 21st, and they need 2 weeks to see if anyone gets coronavirus. So is that enough time to open for, let's see. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me check a calendar. That's not enough time. Well, that's going to suck. We'll see what happens. I don't know what I'm going to do about Wonder Woman. If I can't see Wonder Woman, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't drive, so I have to get someone to drive me, even if I could rent a car. So this is a very difficult situation for me. And I don't feel comfortable asking someone else to risk their life to take me to see a movie. Like, in the grand scheme of things, that seems ridiculous. Hey, James McClellan. Thanks for joining. Utaka, I'm glad you're enjoying Lovecraft. I think some people will really like it all the way through. I'm impressed with how Lovecraft trends every Sunday night. And Journey Smollett Bell, by the way, or just Journey Smollett now, does a really good job on Twitter. She's very active and really gets everybody excited. So I think her social media skills are top notch. It's just, I said it just wasn't for me, and I thought it was very different than the first episode. I would be curious to know what the ratings are from episode to episode. I do suspect it probably dropped in viewership. But maybe it didn't. We don't know for sure until we actually see the stuff. Who asked me just that question? Dancing Dog said, no, who asked that? Where was it? Dallas says, Friends or Will and Grace or Seinfeld? Well, I'm enjoying Seinfeld quite a bit. I'm almost done with it. I'm in season 7 right now. And I really am enjoying it used to be like, who would want to rewatch a sitcom? And I got to say, now that I'm doing it thanks to the pandemic, I'm like, this is fantastic. So I might switch next to Friends next. But right now, it's all about Seinfeld for me. Let's see here. Tommy says, I rewatch The Golden Girls all the time. Yeah, I like that show too. I'm surprised at how topical it is. I didn't realize that before. But when I rewatched some episodes lately, I'm like, wow, very topical. Elizabeth, I didn't watch, I just briefly saw the Bly Manor teaser. I didn't cover it because it came out on my day that I was focusing on Chadwick Boseman. I can't believe they still released that on the Monday after Chadwick Boseman's death. I think they should have pushed it, and that's why nobody really talked about it. Also, it was such a short teaser. But I'll definitely cover it for sure, and I put it in my notes for when it starts. I'm not surprised that episode 2 is the most watched of Lovecraft, James, because episode 1 probably got viewers over time, and then also they had the episode 1 of Lovecraft Country was made available for free on YouTube. So I think everybody watched it and loved it so much, and then went and watched episode 2 to follow up. So when we see what episode 3 is, then we'll know what the trend is. 2 minutes left. Ivan, I read about that situation with Marisol Nichols and the FBI undercover situation. I couldn't believe she's a Scientologist, by the way. I was like, what? But she's doing really amazing work. And I couldn't believe that sex trafficking with children is so prevalent in the United States. It was really an appalling discovery, and I'm glad that she's fighting it. But she's also a Scientologist. So it's a tough call. Frank says, what's your opinion on James Cameron? I think he's an incredible filmmaker. I think he has a horrible ego, though, which gets him into trouble all the time. And I think that Avatar 2 better be amazing, or he's never going to hear the end of it, quite frankly. Oh, one more minute. Oh, Terry, I'm so glad you enjoyed today's stream. Hey, James. Let's see here. Oh, going so fast. Let me see. Nick, I'm not doing call-in shows right now. We're just doing streams for now. Oh, yeah, I'll do 2 more questions, and then I'm going to go. Moving is living. I'm sorry, we're almost done, but tomorrow there'll be another stream. Let's see here. The Dark Savior says, what are your favorite parts of Fantasia? Oh, yeah, I used to watch that going to sleep as a child, like it's a story tape. I really like the Greek mythology one. I think that's really good. Who doesn't love Mickey, of course, you know, the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Oh, Jico has a good question. Would you suggest watching the Mulan animated movie before watching the 2020 version? I would not. I don't think you need to. I mean, unless you've never seen it, but I will just tell you that the live action Mulan is a very different film. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. The Mulan embargo lifts on Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. All right, have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow for another stream. And don't forget to mark Friday on your calendar. We're all going to watch Mulan together. It's going to be a good time. All right, bye, everybody. Bye.